Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, where in the previous episode we were working and indeed experimenting on the auto-harvesting and gathering properties of the farm. So we got in these auto-harvesters, the auto-gatherers, and also the crop sprinklers to hopefully automate the majority of this farm. Either way, we also managed to get as well the yard cloned and a couple of changes here and there. In this episode we are pretty much going to finish off the facility. We have the funds to do most of that. It's mainly to do with flooring and a couple of things like extra in the staff room and little tweaks and changes here and there. And overall we'll go through what we've accomplished, what I would change, and just do a bit of a sort of analysis on this thing. We do still have some problems, and it seems to be mainly doing with searching and another escape, which, yeah, are people just literally running out? I'm pretty confident. I think I need to put some road gates on here. Because that is happening far too often, and I never seem to catch it. So, yeah, we shall see. Anyway, let's go ahead and see how the yard is doing. In fact, the yard is sorted. Let me go then and let's do what I've just said and get these walls and stuff done. It's going to cost a fair amount of money to build a perimeter wall, but I think that would be money well spent, although the money itself would be... Oh, no, we can actually build a perimeter wall. So, perimeter wall all the way around the outside here, followed by, obviously, the connections in the bottom there as well. And then we're going to put in 2 sets of gates. We'll have a road gate and a road barrier, and we'll have to see obviously which one we can get sorted. This, while I'm building this, will obviously remove a lot of the stuff underneath, the designations of delivery, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And I'm hoping that fixes the random runouts that we're getting, but I'm really not too sure, like I say, how it's happening. I've just missed them every single time. We also have random carrots that are just sort of lying in there. It says a carrot, it expires in 4.4 days, and an ingredient of bacon, which apparently doesn't expire. But there you are. We're going to do a tunnel search, all sectors. We don't want to do a shakedown. I want to see if this unnecessarily search recently thing stops. And there is a death. Let's have a quick look. It is... corner once again. I know there's been a lot of suggestions on what to do with them. I'm just going to hire another couple of doctors. What to do with that prisoner, and yeah, it ranges from make him have an accident to fully lock him up in here. So yeah, without breaking any violations, the human rights kind, I'm really not too sure what we can do there. Anyway, we have the wall put in for the most part. In fact, the wall just needs to be placed in there, and then we're pretty much sorted, although we've got bits working there. Actually, why is that top bit not done? Let's have a quick look. Oh, it is actually ordered, so that's fine. Over to doors then, and we have only 3 grand. So we can place a road gate in, but the road gate actually wants to be placed a little bit further down. The road barrier, which is 10 grand, will have to go there. But the gate itself we want to have further down. Or do I just want a gate? I think a gate will be... I think a gate would be sufficient, to be honest. Because it is a low security thing. It's just to stop people running out. So let's place some road gates there. Obviously we need some automatic door openers, because otherwise things won't be able to get in or out. And then we will have to connect those up to the electricity grid. And... there you go. There's the majority of that done. And if people are still getting out after all of this, I'm really not too sure what I can do. Well, actually, there's a fair bit we can do. We can set up patrols. We can have more road gates across. All of that sort of thing. Barbed wire we can technically put on the perimeter wall as well. But I think just that will be enough. Assuming it's not just a random bug. But we didn't find any tunnels, which was good. We finished that. Let's see, remove tunnels. And nope, there are no tunnels there. And... there's some more fighting. That's Alex Damon, 41, and we can see Tim, the prisoner who is technically low risk, but they are the they are the gang leader that we've managed to find. You can see there's about 5 or 6 dogs attacking them, so they really picked the wrong time to kick off there. And oh, looks like we have this pretty much sorted. Let me go to connections here to our door control system. We'll have 1 door control system at the top and then 1 at the bottom, and once the electrical cable is put in, I'll just manually open that there, let all of these trucks out. That will then, you can see, open and close automatically, and it means we're a bit more secure there. Also means that that unsorted mail is probably never going to be removed from the top of that, so we shall see. I'm going to double check that the rooms are not placed here. No, the rooms have not been placed there and have now been removed. Danger level going up. We have a lot of prisoners with serious complaints. There's 20 prisoners are furious that they can't meet the exercise need. Those prisoners will be the ones that are secured in the dormitory as well as in solitary. Similar for the hygiene. Privacy, we will always have a little bit of a problem with that because of the... Why is that not getting delivered? Yeah, we'll always have a little bit of a problem with that. Because of the the abundance of dormitories, and that's all we've got. One of the things I am going to try, and I've been meaning to do this for quite some time, is I'm going to change these top ones to cells, okay? So it will... oh no, it won't do it. It will not do that, sadly. Because these are bunk beds. Right, it doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter. What I'm concerned with is that these mail satchels have never been delivered. They've never been delivered anywhere. Tell you what, we do want to do a test. So bed... Oh, I've got insufficient funds apparently. I just want to place one bed in here. And then... There we go. I want to just change that to a cell. And there we go. So we're just prioritising the delivery of that. And let's see if mail gets delivered over here. There's the bed. It's now in. And we'll go up the top here and see if any of this gets delivered. These guys are working, so they should be able to deliver the mail. Because at the moment, not getting delivered. You see all the satchels with letters in it? Just not getting delivered. I wonder why. I wonder why that's the case. The uniforms are getting delivered. We can clearly see that. But mail, not so much. Okay, I'll dismantle that. It could be to do with the... It could be to do with that designation of dormitory, but I thought the satchels would get delivered anyway. We've got loads of unsorted mail. It's just not getting delivered, at least not that I've seen. Anyway, we still have some grants on the go. Obviously, the compost stuff has been sitting there for quite some time, and I don't think we're going to get that done. We have to also get a couple more apples sold, and we will... There's the prisoner there that's overdosing. There's no point in getting a guard over there with guard response, because we've seen that that does nothing anywhere. There we go, they've been taken. Where are they? There they are, coming along. I'm keeping an eye on it because we've had the problem before where they've just taken them back. So yeah, we're saying about the overproduction, 90% on the apples, so a couple more and we'll be alright. And we're trying to do the general education course. There we go, they've been delivered to the infirmary and treatment is underway. Job done. They are... Oh. See that? They were getting treated, or at least they were trying to be treated. The doctors were trying that, and then it was a partial treatment, and then they're being rushed. Then they were rushed back to their cell, because it says sleeping. I wonder if they overdose. I don't know what's going on here. Fighting. Just keeping an eye on this prisoner, because I want to see if they overdose, whether the treatment was successful or not. It should be, because it doesn't say they're overdosing. Yeah, we should be fine. Oh, deaths and Tim Cleave. Tasers, job done. We should probably have to... I'm probably going to have to perhaps get some more training going for the taser certification. 7 in the queue. I'm going to start that up. We'll run that. Okay, flooring then. Let's go ahead, and in here I'm going to put in... I actually think before flooring, put some more storage shelves across there, and then one in there. I could put them like that as well, because it looks like they should be able to walk around. In here we don't really need any more. items. Security, we don't need anything in there. Armory, we've never really done much with. And there's a tunnel. Doesn't go very far, but it goes far enough. We'll go to remove tunnels there. And we haven't done it in quite some time, so let's check out, for a start, reclaimed brick and then wooden floors. No wooden floors there, need to be replaced. Similar thing there was only one, I think. None there. None there. None there. And one there. It's just where the floors get removed. Speaking of flooring, we're going to put wooden flooring in the majority of these places. Armory and security, and in here, not so much. I'm going to put the reclaimed rubber nowhere because we don't have the funds, so I'll leave that. Danger level is going up. Naturally, it's because of the... It says prisoners unnecessarily searched recently, but not so much. I think it's just the ones that have been locked in solitary and stuff that are complaining about it. But there you are. Daily cash flow is 10 grand. And there's the auto watering crop sprinklers, which, to be fair, it's currently raining, so we probably should turn that off for the time being, but, well, we can't. There is no option to. That unsorted mail, I'm going to dump it, because being up there, I don't think we're ever going to see that working. And there's so much mail that's been, well, it's unsorted and not yet being delivered, I don't know what I can really do about it. Let's check our guard taser certification. They've finished that, so I'll turn that off. We don't need to run any more than we really need to. And I'm going to wait until it's work time to see where people have been assigned to. Food-wise, it was 73% before it stopped, but people can still eat. And there's also some more fighting. There's Tim McCannis, but at the moment it's Tim McUnconscious. So he's gone. Mail, work free time, that's what I want to do. So check out our prison labour. You can see the max jobs. Yep, people are working in the library, and we have seen people with library books. And obviously there's the shop there as well. And people are, buying books there. But in here, they're just doing nothing. Turn that off and turn it back on. I wonder if changing that to staff only it'll work. Let's see. Staff only. That. So with this being staff only, it should now be staffed by guards, technically. There's an overdose. Aston Wilson. We should have some guards come, and take them back to where they need to go. I'm going to dump one of these mail satchels just to see what happens. Looks like the guard came along to fix it. We have 7 available guards, so we have got 3 guards to do the work in here. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. Someone keeps coming in to clean it, but not doing much else. And also the cash flow seems good, but we're not getting much cash. We're on negative cash. Sigmund Freud ironically reading a book on the bleachers there before then starting to clean up. What else do we need to set up in here? Workshop safety inductions on the go. 4 past 20%. So we should have people working to create license plates. Yes, in fact we do. So there's the presses actuating. They are stamping license plates. So we've got, I assume, good reform then. It's still 8. Which is okay. Still keep an eye on this mail satchel. But don't think it's going to be delivered. None of those. We'll check at night to see what the deal is, but I don't think anything's going to happen. And it's curious that we can't... We're getting a lot of negative here. It says prisoner uniform, sheet metal, potato plants. It's planting all of these, but they're not exporting it. Where are our exports? There's garbage, and there's exports. Oh no, there's enough to sort that out. There's enough space, rather, should I say. And there's a death. It says there, but I'm not seeing anything. They'll have probably just been moved, that's all. Unless they're currently in the laundry basket in 2 halves, I don't really know. It doesn't show that that's where they are. But, whatever, it looks like some books being delivered. So we've got unsorted books and unsorted mail. Just none of this is getting delivered. I'm going to dump all of this, all the mail satchels. I just want to see what happens when we dump all of this. Whether or not the rest of it ever gets sorted. So there's all that dumped. You see the guards coming in to dump it, so they're the ones that should be doing that. Then we've got the unsorted mail. That is definitely assigned to staff only, and even if it's assigned jobs to it, it says staff only. So that is set up, I believe, correctly. So we'll keep an eye on that one. We have $2.5 grand. I guess we can put some more stuff in the staff room. So we'll check out objects. We've got table football. We'll have one of those in there. We'll have table tennis. We will have a TV, like so. And then just the odd, like, sofa in here. Radio. We've already got a court stand. Radio. And there you go. So that's all in. That's nice. Armory, we don't need to do anything with, but security and the other place, I do want to put some flooring in. So flooring, we will have in the armory and security. I normally go with things like wooden floor, but I think the grate? No, metal flooring is a nice security colour. In fact, we might do the same thing for... No, I don't like the idea of that in there. Reclaimed... Wow, the reclaimed wood. Reclaimed rubber, rather, is so expensive for this. I think we're just going to go with the metal floor. Although we don't even have that amount of cash now. 650. Seems to be fluctuating quite highly. And it's reform sessions. Which don't seem to be doing anything, actually. We've got lots of seed packets. And lots of exports, hopefully, coming up as well. And there's Tom Gaskin once again, doing their usual fighting. And then, why is Frank the guard running to the right? Who are they chasing? Nobody. When behind him, there's Gaskin. He says fighting at the moment. Yeah, they are fighting. But that guard, Frank, is running away? No, it looks like they were actually going to their checkpoint, and then they've decided to deal with Gaskin, who's going to end up unconscious next to a dumbbell rack. There we are. Okay. Right. Well, we're just waiting for a little bit of cash for the flooring. We've got the majority of things done. I was going to go here and overhaul the transformer and such and place more green energy sources in, but I don't think it's strictly necessary. So I think now is a decent time to talk about the facility, the original intention and the goals, what we've achieved and what we can do better, and also where we go from here. So obviously the original intention was the Going Green DLC, which encompasses the green energy supply, which is the solar, the wind and the solar wind hybrids. That then connects to the transformer, which allows you to store the energy in the batteries and also export it. Those are on completely separate grids, looking at our utilities there, which means that we have to switch it over with these connectors, which was quite interesting. That was one of the earliest things that I tried and I quite liked, and I wasn't really too sure about it, and I'm still of the opinion that as an overall theme, it seems to bounce off the whole. It's prison architect, but it just seems to bounce off it a bit for me. It's fun playing it, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't really seem to fit as well as the clear the transfer or the island bound stuff. The farming stuff does seem to fit a bit better. Again, some of it I wasn't too sure on, and it still is a bit, questionable, but, there are a lot of arguments to be made about it being legit, and, there are prison farms and such around. Don't know if it's got all of this automation stuff in, but then again, speaking of the automation stuff, I would certainly work on the automation stuff most likely sooner rather than later if I play a new series with Going Green. I think having the automation stuff from the get-go just really takes the effort on on all of this. We've got 20 gardeners, and even they're struggling to keep up. In fact, for some reason, all these here, you can see some of them not being replanted, probably because we didn't have the cash, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, having the space removed for the crop sprinklers, the auto harvesters, auto gatherers, anything else automation-wise, I think the time that it saves and the labour it saves by having these, I think it is worth it. And I would certainly go back and build the fields in such a way and shape that we'd be able to have it much more efficient in terms of its layout. There's a 10 grand grant payment, and that'll be for, I'm guessing, yeah, that grant payment was for the overproduction, which you can see is not yet available. We're going to go for prison manufacturing facility, which is a 10 grand advanced payment, and we are, where are we at? Produce 30 license plates. Well, we are producing license plates, but it doesn't seem to retroactively do that. I'm going to stop that shakedown because I don't think it is necessary. And we're going to have a quick look at flooring, which is now going to go in here. And that should be, I think, some of the last flooring that we need. But yeah, the farming stuff is quite interesting. It's a decent addition, but I think some of it just goes a little bit beyond, for me, the overall prison theme. Like the flower garden, I mean, I think a lot of this you could make argument, you know, you could argue, and rightly so, that yeah, this is in X, Y, Z. But as a trope, as a general rule, it doesn't seem to fit. Certainly not things like a wheelbarrow flower pot thing. And, you know, that, and these, like, solar lights, it just seems to be, maybe a bit too far. It's been fun playing with, certainly. The changes I would probably make, well, I'm happy with what we've done, and the overall idea was to get low-risk prisoners and work on the farms and stuff, and we've got all that going. I would probably prioritise the farms earlier in the series, which, you know, I think would allow us to get more reform. Because of the size of the map, some of the placement of certain buildings, specifically laundry, is problematic. So we probably change that to be closer to the centre. And I think we've got enough amenities and all the extras. We've got all of the extras, like, you know, we've got the mail. Like, there's all the mail satchels being done, but they're still not being delivered. Yeah. I don't know whether I'd do it with dormitories again. Would I instead just go for straight up cells? It's an idea. It's potentially a decent change. Obviously, we've got a lot of space in the middle that I know people were mentioning where we could have more stuff. That's correct. We just decided not to. We just wanted to be quite expansive just for the sake of looks. Kitchen and canteen seems to be all fine. Visitation as well. The rest of it, not too bad. Security seems to be okay. The main issues were the 3 people that were evented and were put in as a... Oh, actually, I should probably put more phone booths in here. Yeah, there was a couple of events, 3 events specifically, that really hindered us. That was the events for turning 3 prisoners into legendary prisoners, and then having another set of prisoners arrive from a neighbouring facility that were higher grade and obviously beyond what we could actually normally hold as well, which, you know, we could have accounted for if I had not just recently removed the holding cell, and then furthermore the inclusion of probably a protective custody. That would have also, I think, helped, but I think it's mainly just the event randomness that has really messed us up. Obviously a lot of contraband being taken, and I'm not really too sure what I can do else to prevent it. Yes, I've got checkpoints. Yes, I've got metal detectors. Yes, we've got this set to access only and all of that. So, and these are low-risk prisoners, so I wouldn't have thought we'd have a huge issue there, but we have. And because of that, they're getting searched and danger level's always high. This is as high as it's really been in any of the facilities. So that's a bit of concern. But overall, not too bad. It was compounded a bit by the weather, and obviously weather and temperature and the distance with the laundry. But, you know, mistakes were made, but overall it seems to be quite good. Grading, we're up to 13%. It's actually got a little bit worse since we last looked at it, but it's still quite low. That's 150 prisoners being released. Prison value is just over 500,000 at 560,000. Punishment is low at 1. We could probably try to alter things to change that, but this stage is probably a little bit too late. We'd have to drastically overhaul our regime as well as the amount and type of punishments we hand out. Most likely would need more solitary. Reform is good at 8. Security is middling. It's at 1. And then health is at negative because, well, you have one or two ODs and that's pretty much it. As I said, danger level is dangerously high. Prisoners have serious complaints and I don't really know what to do about that. It's hygiene and exercise. Yes, we haven't got shower time, and yes, we haven't got yard time, but in free time, the prisoners will use the showers, they will use the yard, and they will use the gym, and indeed the common room. So it just seems to be something that's a bit funky. Same as the literature and luxuries, it doesn't seem to be delivered. Certainly the mail stuff, you can see they're sorting the mail, but they're just not delivering it. So I don't know what's happening there. And we have had some weird bugs with the apple trees and shifting down and whatnot. So it's just sort of it is what it is. Overall, though, pretty happy with the design and happy with what we've done. The only thing we haven't really finished off is put some flooring around the outside, which we were originally going to place something. I think we could place grass in there, couldn't we? How much would it cost to place grass? We've got enough cash. We might as well do it for the sake of completion. There we go. We have enough cash to, I think, get it all done. There we go. It would be rude not to. It would be rude not to. In terms of things, like I say, massively changed, it's mainly the priority. I would probably do the automation and more farm stuff sooner, and maybe change where a couple of these things start. And maybe even have the farm stuff just staff only. But then again, what's the point? Because then you don't get all the reform and everything else that you really want off it. It's just the contraband that it causes is a bit of an issue. A couple of things I genuinely don't like are, well, there's just like this ingredient stuff. This is added and new. Fair enough, understood. But it's a brand new thing added that I'm not convinced is... I mean, it's good. Not convinced it's strictly necessary nor really complies with a lot of the rules that the game has laid down. Another one, specifically, is to do with the logistics, which has been... These have been changed where you right-click and you can change these. This is nice, but it's, again, completely different from what we've had previously. It doesn't follow any of the rules or anything, and none of the buildings work like that. So it just feels a bit different, not in a good way. And also, these are the only type of buildings, I think, could be wrong, that you can assign different sex to, so mid, min, etc. But they don't have to be behind walls. So everything else, it has to be inside, or behind a wall and door to change it. Whereas these, you can just change it. Again, good, but that's how everything else works. So it's a bit confusing. If that was for everything in the game, yeah, cool. If Prison Architect 2 is like that, much better, much more control. But I don't know. Maybe still overstepped the mark a bit. But I have enjoyed it, and I would be up for continuing on with this build, or at least starting another build again. We are going to call it done for this episode and this series. I do want to do an extreme testing initiative where we put the prison through its paces by inducing certain elements to the game and mainly weapons to see what would happen with the prisoners, what their behaviour would be. Some of it would be reasonable to expect if we really mismanaged it. Some of it is completely made up and you would never see. And then we'll try and escape from this, which I assume is going to be quite difficult because of the perimeter wall. Actually, that should be definitely set to staff only. Yeah, because of the perimeter walls, because of the patrols and dogs and everything else. I have a feeling that escape's going to be, tunneling-wise, quite difficult, but a blitz-out attempt and then run down maybe that's the way forward. After that, in terms of where we go from here, that's really up to you. Would you like to see an expansion? And if so, what would be the reason for that? I'm not up for expanding in any direction if it's just for the sake of doing it. So adding in an expansion to the right-hand side just to put more farm, don't really see the point. It doesn't add anything new. Similar, I'm definitely ruling out adding in criminally insane. That's just not the overall theme of this, so we're not going to do that. But if there's an angle that you can think of, by all means, let me know. If you would like to see a new series with different focus, then by all means, let me know as well. We may have a bit of a break if we do decide to do that, but we will have to see. I am going to put in probably rubber is most likely a good choice for a room that is based on power. Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. I've placed carpet in there. That's definitely not what we wanted. In fact, now that I think of it, we should have most likely placed a wall across there. And then a staff door in there. That would be a bit better. Cool. But overall, yeah, with all of the little bugs and slight annoyances aside, it's been fairly cool, interesting. And also, we have a grant done there of, I believe, 2 grants done. And that is perfect. We've managed to get the... Where is it? Prison manufacturing facility completed. Produced 30 license plates. And reformed through education initiative. Still can't get a bank loan, but, you know... We can go for carpentry apprenticeship and cell block D if we really wanted to give us more cash. It really matters not. Either way, that is the end of the series. As I said, if you have any ideas, suggestions for expansions, changes that you think really need to be made before we really take this as done, or indeed for a new series, then by all means let me know. Hope you have enjoyed it, and as always, we will see what happens in the follow-up series or whatever. I will obviously continue on and get this done, so the flooring will be sorted before before we sort of have the final save, before we go on to either the escape or the testing. So, you know, rest assured, that'll be sorted. Either way, hope you have enjoyed the video and the series. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings. Addendum, I just wanted to show the prison now that all of the flooring and all of the other details have been put in, so aside from the odd little mistake here and there, that should be complete. Anyway, there you are.